Christian artist Matthew West sings one of my favorite Christian contemporary songs, and its title is Hello, My Name Is. And the first verse starts out like this. Hello, my name is Regret. I'm pretty sure we have met. Every single day of your life, I'm the whisper inside that won't let you forget. Hello, my name is Defeat. I know you recognize me. Just when you think you can win, I'll drag you right back down again till you've lost all belief. Well, these are the voices and these are the lies, and I have believed them for the very last time. Hello, my name is Child of the One True King. Hello, my name is Joseph Bowman, and I'm a child of the One True King. I am exclusively same-sex attracted, and I have been my entire life. But my identity is not in my sexual orientation. It never has been. My identity is in Jesus Christ. So before I go any further, you'll see that Wesley Hill's story and mine have some parallels. Growing up, I was the shortest, smallest, scrawniest, most unathletic kid there was in school. And I had alopecia. I was already balding at the age of 8. I was bullied, teased, picked on, punched, kicked, you name it. I was called every name in the book, including sissy, fag, queer. You name it, I was called it. I hated sports. I hung out with the girls at recess and jumped rope with them. This only added to the name calling. And even into university, I was still the smallest kid, and the bullying continued, even worse, actually, in the dorm. I had my room sacked, and I was hazed more than once, and the powers that be did nothing about it. I had a terrible childhood, adolescence, and young adulthood. And oh yeah, I figured out that I liked boys and not girls. But growing up in a Christian family, being gay was just unthinkable. Those were two things that just don't play nicely in the same sandbox together. Well, from my university years onward, I spent 20 years of my life begging God to make me straight. If there was a book written in the 1980s or 1990s for Christians who wanted to overcome unwanted same-sex attraction, I owned it. These books were supposed to fix me. For the next 2 decades, I went to healing prayer and healing prayer ministries. I saw a Christian therapist for 17 years. I went to an ex-gay support group. Most of it was what was then called New Direction, a former Exodus ex-gay ministry in Toronto. I participated in the Living Waters program, an ex-gay recovery program, twice in fact. I attended several Exodus international conferences for many years. These things were supposed to fix me. But when all was said and done, there was no change to my attractions, and it left me defeated, just like in the words of Matthew West's song. All I wanted was to be fixed. I wanted a wife and kids and a house with a white picket fence like normal people. And it didn't happen. Well, in 1997, I began to feel the first deep stirrings toward a call to ministry in my life. And in August of 1999, I packed up my earthly belongings and I moved to St. Louis, Missouri to attend Covenant Theological Seminary in their MDiv program. Seminary was supposed to fix me. Seminary was really supposed to fix me. Well, a year later, I dropped out of Covenant Seminary, a very broken man. I truly had my dark night of the soul. I was supposed to be fixed, and I wasn't. And so I moved to Memphis, Tennessee to attend a year-long live-in program called Love in Action. And this was supposed to fix me. In fact, that's pretty much what this live-in program promises to do. You go there for a year, you go through counseling and therapy, you work with what they tell you to do, and you'll be rid of your attractions. It didn't work. And I returned home to Canada, and I continued to see a Christian therapist every other week for another 6 years. This was supposed to fix me. Do you see the pattern? In 2005, the Presbyterian Church in America, PCA, congregation in Toronto, where I had been a member for almost a decade, got a new pastor. And I was very forthcoming about my life journey. And he said to me, "So you've been in reparative conversion therapy for 15 years and you aren't healed yet?" And my answer was, "No, my attractions have not changed despite all these years of therapy." Well, less than 2 weeks later, I got an email from this pastor. Not a letter, not a phone call, not a face-to-face conversation, an email. And he deemed that I was, and this was a direct verbatim word for word quote in his email, he deemed that I was too needy and too broken to be allowed to come to church. And until he had psychological proof that I could relate to people in a healthy way, I was no longer wanted or welcome at church. I was disfellowshipped, too needy and too broken to be allowed to come to church. That's what I was told. Well, I could have run away from God and church and faith and just jumped into a gay lifestyle, but I did not. I started going to a large Reformed Baptist church in Toronto, and I continued to see my therapist every other week for another 2 years. This was supposed to fix me. Well, in the summer of 2007, my therapist looked me square in the eye and he said, "Joseph, if this never goes away, if you are never healed of your same-sex attractions, will you still follow Christ?" And my initial answer was no. No way, absolutely not. I wanted to be fixed. I wanted to be married with kids in a house with a white picket fence like normal people. How could I possibly continue to trust in God if I'm never going to be healed of this? It didn't matter that I had never once acted on my attractions, and I still never have, by the way. I just wanted them, I wanted to be fixed. I wanted them gone. I wanted change. I wanted God to make me straight. And my counselor said to me, "Joseph, the issue isn't that you're same-sex attracted. The issue is that you hate yourself because of it." And he was right. And the light bulb came on, and I curled up in a ball and I sobbed on my counselor's office floor. But within a week, almost all of my self-hatred was gone. All of my self-loathing was gone. I had a sense of self-worth and self-esteem restored. My therapist was right. The issue wasn't that my same-sex attractiveness. The issue was my self-hatredness, my self-hatred that kept me defeated. Again, remembering the words of Matthew West's song. And for all intents and purposes, I came screaming out of the closet. And I mean screaming out of the closet. I sent a coming out email to over 300 people, and I put a rainbow flag bumper sticker on the bumper of my car in everything. And my therapist said to me, "Yeah, you don't need me anymore." For the first time in my life, I felt like a whole person. Coming out of the closet was the most soul nourishing thing that I ever did. I have since taken that rainbow flag bumper sticker off my car, but that would be another story. And in 2010, I completed my Master of Theological Studies degree at Tyndale Seminary in Toronto, although I started out in the MDiv program and completed about 80% of it. And during that time, February of 2008, I came to the CRC, the denomination I now call home. I believe that God is sovereign over all things. God knows all things from the beginning of time, and in his sovereignty, he has not healed me of my same-sex attractions. They still exist. But the self-hatred, the root of my problem, was healed. For all intents and purposes, I feel fixed. I still hold the traditional view of Scripture that acting on my attractions is sin. I always will believe that. And with God's grace and mercy, I will never act on my attractions and remain pure. I am 51 years old, and I am a virgin, and I hope to die one. Yes, I just said that out loud. But especially in the last couple of years or so, I've realized that the end goal wasn't heterosexuality. It wasn't gay to straight, it was lost to saved, to borrow a quote from Emily Thomes, a former lesbian and now a committed Christian. The goals were obedience, purity, and holiness. And the call to ministry returned in my life. I started dialoguing with Calvin Seminary in the fall of 2017. And in 2018, I quit my government job and served as a student pastor at the Christian Reformed Church in Alliston, Ontario, and then came to Calvin Seminary in August of 2019 to complete the EPMC program. Praise be to God. You know, for years I said no to a call to ministry in my life because I thought I was unfit for ministry. I mean, who is going to hire a single celibate, same-sex attracted pastor and who's open about it, even one that holds the conservative view of Scripture? Who's going to hire such a man? Well, I still ask that question. I still have great doubts, but I could no longer say no to God's call in my life. So here I am, and I wait to see what doors will open. The chorus of Matthew West's song, Hello, My Name Is, goes like this. Hello, my name is, child of the one true King. I've been saved, I've been changed, I have been set free. Amazing grace is the song I sing. Hello, my name is, child of the one true King. My name is Joseph Bowman, and I am a Christian who experiences exclusive same-sex attractions. But my identity is not in my sexual orientation. It never has been. My identity is in Jesus Christ. I'm a child of the one true King.